No live cameras in the courtroom this time, but trial watchers are getting their fix on Twitter and social media. One of our Twitter followers tweeted this: people are mistaking mental illness for evil. And so the question is, and by the way, somebody, do you have that Down to Mars girl thing? That's very distressing to me, that people put words in our mouth. Will you stop it, everybody, and just listen to what we're saying? When we say something, listen to the words. Disgusted with you for entertaining the idea of borderline isn't an illness, just a way to find her. I did not say that. That is what the attorney said in the courtroom. We took specifically issue with it. So please stop attacking us when we are discussing things that happen in the courtroom. Obviously, we wouldn't say something like that. Now, the question is she also evil? Should the punishment be different, Deneen?
Can I clear up something about the death penalty, Dr. Drew, real quick? I've seen so many tweets saying that we should not continue to house her in jail and it's so expensive, we should just go ahead and kill her. Look, in California, in Arizona, in an awful lot of states, most people on death row die of old age. There is so much of a process that once someone is convicted and sentenced to death, it's expensive. There is appeal after appeal. It takes decades, and that's far more expensive oftentimes to put someone to death in a state like Arizona and California than it is other places, maybe like Texas. So we need to stop thinking that this is an easy way out, just killing her. That's actually the more expensive route, and she probably is going to die in jail anyway. Yeah.
Wendy, do you want to talk about the borderline and evil and the stigma that's around borderline disorders already, and then Jodi making it worse?
Well, first of all, anyone who commits murder is evil, but that doesn't mean that they're not also mentally ill. And frankly, I think most people who commit murder have some kind of mental problem, right? That's why they're committing murder.
That's right.
So to call these two distinct things is different. I think what people are hearing, Dr. Drew, is that as soon as we try to explain it through mental illness or personality disorder, they think we're excusing it. They think we're forgiving them.
Right.
We're not.
It cuts both ways, though. The problem is, if we're trying to explain it to understand it, we're thought of as excusing it. But then if we discuss it and give it a name, we stigmatize people that have these conditions. Erica, it's a tough line to walk, isn't it?
It's a tough line to walk, but I mean, I go for the life in prison. And just personally, I'm not into the death penalty. I think I'm not up for eye for an eye. I believe in forgiveness. I also think that just killing her, while the family or people online on Twitter may think that the family will feel 100% better once she's killed. I don't know necessarily. They may not feel better. Yeah. So it's really not about that. And you know, okay.
I got to interrupt. Sam, you got more reaction from social media.
Gosh,
we got tons of stuff to get into.
So much reaction. I want to start with a rather funny tweet from John Wisniewski. He says, Dr. Drew, do you have a model of little brain as well? Referring to the little brain that Wendy mentioned. I'm all for that. I think that would be hilarious. Okay, and then going...
That's for the Christmas show.
Okay, all right. From Arnold, if she gets death, she'll get too much attention for years. She lives for attention. If she gets life, we'll all forget her.
Oh, I'm not sure. That could go either way, but go ahead. What else you got?
Yeah, okay, from Cheryl, there will be one male on the jury that Jodi will make eye contact with, and that will be all it takes, and he will spare her life. Do you guys agree?
Deneen really agrees. But Deneen, there are more women, potentially, although we don't know what the makeup is of the jury versus the alternate. It seems like there may be more women on this jury.
I agree that if there is one male on the jury, because males have that protective instinct, and I think that if one of them will connect with her, that's all it's going to take, is for one person to just see her as some type of a something that needs to be saved or helped or whatever.
As a man, I have more difficulty, as I fantasize about being on a jury, I have more difficulty sending a woman to a death penalty than a male, and I have a problem with death penalty generally. But
wait, you fantasize about being on a jury?
No, I have no fantasy about it. That's my little brain thinking. But go ahead, Sam, what else you got?
Okay, this one is actually in line with what Wendy tweeted earlier, so I'm curious to see how Wendy responds. Yeah. Deanna wrote, if she were a man, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. The consequence of her crime should be death. That's exactly what you tweeted earlier, Wendy.
Go ahead, Wendy.
Exactly. I think that this has been dragged out because she's female, because she's attractive, because there's a great sexual relationship she had with the victim. And I just don't think this would have happened if Travis had killed her, for instance.
Deneen,
it would have been a done deal.
Yeah, and not only that, because of the fact that he's a big, strong, handsome man as a victim, if this was a child that was a 4-year-old that had been raped and bludgeoned to death, we wouldn't be thinking twice about it.
Oh, my God.
So also the fact that, people, it's hard for America to see a big, strong, handsome man as a victim, even though he was chopped to pieces. And that's sad, but it's true.